Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. This following program will happen as part of Documentary Mondays, which is a project of Czech Centres in collaboration with Institute of Documentary Films. My name is Ivana Formanová, and I'm the manager of Kinedoc, which is an alternative distribution of documentary films. And it is my absolute pleasure to welcome here the Czech director Helena Třeštíková, whose film you can currently see on Da Film's Mallory, and we will talk about it in the following interview. So welcome, Helena. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for invitation. Hello. And I have to apologize me for my bad English. I started with my English after 40 and I have no many opportunities to speak English. So
yeah, I think your English so far is very good. So I will start with the first question. So in your film, which was awarded the Crystal Globe at the Karlovy Vary International Film Festival for Best Documentary, you follow the protagonist Mallory for 13 years after her addiction treatment. How did you and Mallory actually meet in the first place?
Yes, it was in year 2002, and I worked on such a series of documentary films for Czech TV about drugs, about different aspects of drugs. And my topic, so on this series worked more filmmakers, and my topic was women. Mm-hmm. And it was necessary to find one woman who finished her her drug abuse when she became a mother. Mm-hmm. And it was Mallory. And so we met in this year. She has a son, Christoph, half-year-old, and so we made such a part of her life in this series, and so I saw that she is so. She fascinates me with her openness and authenticity, yes. And so I decided to continue watching her life.
Mm-hmm. And you filmed her for a very, very long time, over the period of 13 years. So you built a very special relationship with the protagonists. So how do you actually gain their trust, or how does this relationship work?
Yes, it's of course the main aspect of documentarists' work, because you are working with authentic people, and so I always try to be open, honest, and serious. Never to anyone ever I don't force. I respect the wishes of my heroes. Yes. If possible, and when they doesn't want to say anything, I respected it.
Mm-hmm. Well, you are an expert in time-lapse documentary filmmaking, and the results were extraordinary stories of individuals such as Marcela or René or Katka. So how does your specific documentary style work in practice? Can you be in every situation present when something interesting or important is happening in the story?
So I am in contact with my heroes, big protagonists, and sometimes I call them. Sometimes they call me. It's now in this time of mobile phones more easier than before, because when I started were not mobile phones, and so and some of our protagonists had not telephone, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really complicated. Now is easier, and so we are in contact, and we are speaking not only about our common work, but about normal situation in their life. And so I said to them that they are part of my life, and they said to me that it's from their side the same. We are parts of our life.
That's beautiful. So when you were filming, did Mallory, for example, call you when something important was happening in her life, so that you can film it for the documentary?
I didn't understand.
Sorry, if for example you were filming Mallory over the period of 13 years,
yes.
So did she, for example, call you when something important was happening? Yes.
Of course, and from time to time we were in contact, permanent contact. But in this time I was into contact with other my protagonists, because this long-term observation has such a specific that I am making more topics in the same time.
Right. Yes, of course. So can you tell which of the people or the stories was closest to you?
It's
hard to say.
I hope that it's impossible to say, because all these films or all these stories are part of my of my effort to connect the documentary with story, yes, and effort to catch our life in special different aspects, and our life in our time, yes. And I hope that it could be I hope interesting for the future, as a picture how we lived in this time.
Right. So what did Mallory say when she first saw the film? Or what does your heroes say in general about the movies? Are they trying to change something? Are they happy with how they come out to the audience?
From time to time, our protagonists say that something it's not so good for them, but it's not not very often, yes. And in the case of Mallory, she was very satisfied with this film, and she was in Karlovy Vary on festival, and I hope that it was such a highlight of her life, yes, because she was such a very famous personality there, and so then this this award for this film, she was present too, and it was such a great pleasure for me, of course, but for her especially, because it was something extraordinary in her life. And what's interesting, that she is very connected with this film, and she is such part of a special drug prevention program for schools, and she is very often making discuss in schools with about her her experience with drugs, and she used this film together.
That's amazing. So actually, the story of Mallory, in contrast with your other films, has a positive outcome because she overcomes her addiction. So do you think that the documentary helped her in that in some way, and do you follow her story even today?
Yes, yes. I think that that it helped her very much because it was such another part of her life after the film, because she was such an interesting personality, many interviews and so, and I think that especially for her it was a great benefit.
Right.
Benefit.
Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit more about your filmmaking process? When do you know, for example, that it's time to end the story, stop shooting, and go to the editing room?
So all my projects have a predetermined deadline. Yes. So I know when I have to finish, because there are production contracts, and these contracts are signed for a certain time, yes, and a certain period of time, and so I know the time for finishing our film, but then is a possibility to start with a new project, no financing, with the same protagonists. Yes, it in my film was more times such a situation.
And how long does the editing process last? You must have so much footage to choose
Yes,
from.
yes, yes, but I have such a special method. After ever shooting days, I let make a transcript of this shooting period, and then I am prepared for editing room, that I have all my material on paper, yes, and I can prepare it better. That I it's my method. I don't know if it's for every filmmaker such a good method, but for me, yes, that I have all on papers, and I can so here in this period our protagonist said this and that, and we can use it, and this transcript helps me very much in very much in editing room, and so I have to be prepared, because of course we have such great materials, and it's necessary to make a form from this footage, yes, and it's I would say the highest problem of making documentary, to give the form to our footage.
Right. So you are usually filming stories which can be, or you can find yourself in a little bit dangerous situations or not very easy stories or situations to follow. So have you ever been scared while shooting?
So I can say that it's my voluntary decision to make this film, these topics, and I have to accept or all circumstances that arise during their realization. I must not be afraid, but so of course sometimes you are not in very
comfortable
situation, but it's a part of my work. I have to be prepared for all.
You are brave. So you used to create documentaries directly for television, but now you are making films with a production company.
Yes.
Can you tell us what is the difference for you?
Of course, it's a great difference, and it's a great positive contribution to my work. I have better working conditions. Negative takes care of the participation of my film on festivals. For example, it's a great bonus, and so it's more better, and so I am very lucky that I can cooperate with Negative Company. Perfect cooperation, more than 12 years.
That's excellent. Can you tell us how many projects are in progress that you are working on at one time, or how many stories have not been published?
No, all my projects I am working on are continuing of project published, and so it's all is a continuation of already known stories. Nothing is new. And how many? I don't know, about 10 projects. So
yes.
Or, for example, Marriage Ethic, it's 6 parts, yes, of one project. It's no, so 3-4 projects.
And are there any projects that you decide not to publish, or that you stop following after some time?
No. In sometimes, for example, from Marriage Ethic, it was observation of two people, marriage couple, yes, and from time some after, especially after divorce, one person didn't want to cooperate, but the second is so can cooperate with us, so this project is continuing, yes. But never was such a situation that was necessary to stop this project before finishing.
And can you tell us what are you working on right now?
Especially now, I am working on the second part of René, because René is, I would say, very interesting personality, such a social and intellectual personality. It's not very so usual. Such an interesting person. So we made we observed him 12 years after finishing the first film about him, and now it will be ready, I hope, in I don't know. I hope in some months.
Oh, really?
So
Nice.
it's annual. It's annual new work. So no new project.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it very much then. My last question is actually about documentaries in general. So what is actually the power of documentary film in your opinion?
So I am a documentary enthusiast, and I believe in the power of documentary films. And documentary films can be testimony about our time for the future. So I decided for documentary film when I started my studies on Film Academy, and this decision was, I would say, the best decision in my life to make documentary films.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for this interview. Thank you for being here. And I'm looking forward to more of your upcoming films. Good luck with finishing all your projects. It seems like you have a lot on your plate. And also thank you to the viewers. And don't forget to watch Mallory on the films. You can still catch it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for invitation and for interests for my films. Thank you.
Thank you so much.